3 nights after my friend asked me to hold onto a locked metal box, someone broke into my apartment. They didn't steal my TV. They didn't take my laptop. They didn't even touch the cash I had sitting on my desk. Instead, they went through every drawer, every closet, and every cabinet in my place. Like they were looking for one specific thing. And the worst part, I knew exactly what they were trying to find. Because 3 days earlier, my friend had handed me a small metal lockbox and told me not to open it. So this all started on a Thursday night. My friend Alex called me out of nowhere. Now Alex and I had known each other since college. We weren't best friends or anything, but we'd stayed in touch over the years. So when he called asking if he could stop by for a few minutes, I didn't think anything of it. But when he showed up at my apartment, he looked off. Nervous, like the kind of nervous where someone keeps checking over their shoulder. And he was holding this small black metal box, maybe the size of a shoebox. No labels, no markings, just a handle on top and a combination lock on the front. Before I could even ask what was going on, he said, "Hey man, I need a favor." I asked what kind of favor. He held up the box. "Can you hold on to this for me for about a week?" Now that already sounded weird. But then he added something that made it even stranger. "Don't open it." I laughed and asked what was inside. And that's when he got serious. Like, really serious. He said, "I'm not kidding. Just keep it somewhere safe and don't open it. I'll come get it in a few days." At that point I probably should have said no. But Alex had helped me out before, and it didn't seem like a huge deal. So I asked the obvious question. "Why can't you just keep it at your place?" He hesitated, then said something that stuck with me. "I just need it somewhere that isn't connected to me right now." That should have been a red flag. But instead I shrugged and said sure. He thanked me, handed me the box, and left about 2 minutes later. And that was the last time I saw him. The first 2 days were normal. I stuck the box in the back of my bedroom closet and basically forgot about it. I was curious, obviously. Anyone would be, but I also didn't want to be the guy who breaks a friend's trust. So I left it alone. Until Saturday night. That's when things started getting weird. I was sitting on my couch watching TV when I got a notification on my phone. It was from my doorbell camera. Someone had walked past my apartment door, which normally wouldn't be a big deal, except the person stopped and just stood there, right outside my door, for almost 30 seconds. Then they walked away. I checked the footage and saw a guy wearing a hoodie, face mostly covered. I figured maybe he had the wrong apartment or something, so I didn't think much of it. But the next night, it happened again. Another person, different hoodie, same thing. They stopped outside my door, looked around, then left. That's when the situation started feeling wrong, because it felt like someone was checking my apartment, and I couldn't stop thinking about that metal box sitting in my closet. Monday night was when everything blew up. I had gone to bed around midnight. Sometime around 3 in the morning, I woke up to a noise. At first I thought it was part of a dream, but then I heard it again, a thud from the living room, and suddenly I was wide awake. I grabbed my phone and sat there listening. For a few seconds everything was quiet. Then I heard something that made my stomach drop. A drawer sliding open. Someone was inside my apartment. My heart started pounding so loud I could barely hear anything else. For a second I thought about confronting whoever it was. But then I realized that was probably a terrible idea. So instead I quietly called 911. While I was on the phone with the dispatcher, I heard footsteps moving through my apartment. Cabinets opening, things shifting, like someone was searching. After about 2 minutes, everything went quiet. Then I heard my front door close. The police showed up about 10 minutes later. And when we walked through the apartment together, it was obvious what had happened. Every drawer in my kitchen had been opened. My desk had been searched. Even my bathroom cabinets had been emptied onto the floor. But the strange part, nothing was missing. My TV was still there. My laptop was untouched. Even my wallet was still sitting on the counter, which meant whoever broke in wasn't there to steal random stuff. They were looking for something specific. And the moment I realized that, my mind went straight to the box. After the police left, I went into my bedroom and opened the closet. The box was still there, exactly where I had hidden it. I remember just staring at it for a minute, because suddenly this thing that had seemed like a weird favor felt a lot more serious. So I did the only thing that made sense. I called Alex. He didn't answer. I tried again, straight to voicemail. I texted him. Someone broke into my apartment. What's in the box? No response. I waited about an hour. Nothing. That's when curiosity finally got the better of me. Because if someone was willing to break into my home to find this thing, I needed to know why. The lock wasn't actually that complicated. After a few minutes of trying combinations, I managed to pop it open. And the moment I lifted the lid, I realized why someone had been looking for it. Inside the box were 4 passports, each with a different name. But the same photo, Alex's photo, underneath the passports was a thick stack of cash, probably $20,000, and at the bottom of the box was a USB drive. Now at that point I already knew I was in way over my head. But I still plugged the USB into my laptop, and what I found on it made everything make a lot more sense. It was filled with files, documents, scans of vids, travel records, financial accounts, all under different names. Whoever Alex had been lately, he wasn't just Alex anymore. He had been living under multiple identities. And judging by the amount of money in that box, he had probably made some powerful enemies along the way. I tried calling him again. Still nothing. By the next morning, his phone was completely off, and I never heard from him again. A few weeks later I turned everything over to the police. The passports, the cash, the USB drive. They didn't tell me much about what they found. But the detective did say one thing before I left. He told me I was lucky, because whoever broke into my apartment that night was probably expecting to find the box. And if they had, there's no telling what they might have done next. To this day, I still don't know exactly what Alex was involved in. All I know is this: sometimes when someone asks you to hold on to something and tells you not to open it, you probably should listen, but you also probably shouldn't keep it in your apartment, because if someone else wants it badly enough, they might just come looking for it.